have seen a lot of discussions and opinion-based analysis debating who would win between two historic NBA teams, such as the 1992 Olympic Dream Team versus the 2008 Redeem Team.
I would pick the Dream Team's 11 Hall of Famers to prevail over the Redeem Team's 8 future Hall of Famers.
I love Michael Jordan being from Chicago. I can't give it to the Dream Team though, because athletically, the Redeem Team would blow them off the court.
All the Dream Team needs to do is make their free throws to put away the game, which they do. Which means in the end, the Dream Team defeats the Redeem Team by 4 points.
Both teams are in their prime, so it's not like you're getting one team over their prime and one team in their prime. But Skip, I went with the Redeem Team for one reason. Kobe, LeBron, D-Wade.
And it was a 29-year-old Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Checkmate. So in the end, if you want to do 110 to 109, I say Jordan hits the last shot over Kobe.
While I enjoy these videos and often find myself agreeing with the analysis or presentations, I found myself hoping for something more objective. Most of these videos cannot escape from opinion in one form or another. After all, how could they not? It's impossible to make these two teams play each other in real life. We do not have that luxury, but there is something we do have: data. Yes. Fortunately, basketball statistics are recorded and preserved meticulously, with a lot of tables full of data. Here is a typical data page from basketballreference.com. As you can see, a lot of information is contained in these numbers. This information is what intrigued me as both an NBA fan and a data nerd. It made me wonder if there was such a way that I could use this data to create an objective answer to the age-old question: who was the better team? For me, it comes down to a simple question: who would win if these teams played each other in a basketball game? This would require a simulation of an actual game, and unlike a 2K simulation, it would need to be completely objective. I arrived at something that I hope you will enjoy and even convince you that an answer to this question may actually exist. It's a computer program that simulates a basketball game with authentic player data.
Who would win between the 1992 Dream Team and the 2008 Redeem Team in a basketball game? I aim to find a more scientific answer to this question. I'm Rylan, and this is NBA Informatics, the fusion of technology and NBA basketball. First, I will describe the science of how this simulation is going to work. Then we will jump right into a 7-game playoff NBA Olympic-type basketball series between these two juggernaut teams. So if you're not really interested in the how this works part, you can use the links in the description to jump over that part of the video. But without further ado, how does this work?
A basketball game can be broken down into its simple parts. On the court, you have 5 players from each team. One player can have the ball at a time. The player with the ball only has a few outcomes. For example, they can shoot a basket, pass to a teammate, or commit a turnover. Each player is unique in how they approach the game and make decisions. For example, a player like Magic Johnson might be more likely to pass the ball to a teammate to set them up and get an assist, while a player like Michael Jordan might be more likely to drive to the rim and try to score a bucket. It depends on their role. All of this information is contained in their unique player data via percentages and tendencies. All of the data and statistics make up how a player performed and acted on the court in a specific season. In essence, this information gives us the player and acts as a window to the past.
We need a good way to compare the teams, and I argue that using the data from the Olympics is not a good idea. First of all, it's too small of a sample size, and international play got way better after 1992, mostly thanks to the Dream Team's awesome effort in making the game more international. If you don't believe me, look at the percentage of international players in the look at the percentage of international players in the NBA and how it's grown over time. The Redeem Team was facing more NBA talent, so a much better way to compare players from these two teams is to actually use NBA data. The NBA is the best league in the world, and that was true in both 1992 and in 2008. The NBA will allow for a bigger sample size because they have an 82 game season, and adjusting for pace should give us the best possible comparison. Now, some of you old-timers might be saying,
well, the NBA in 1992 was so much more difficult because there was no hand-checking rules and it was more physical.
while some of you younger people are probably saying,
Yeah, but the athletes have gotten so much better if you compare 2008 to 1992.
and I'm gonna come right down the middle and say you both might be right, but those two arguments can potentially cancel each other out and should be pretty minor, especially when you consider that we can adjust for pace. It really comes down to tendencies and percentages. Assuming he did not change his game at all, meaning he didn't start jacking up a ton of threes, would you expect Michael Jordan's shooting percentage to change very much if he played in the NBA in 2008? Maybe you could argue that they'd be slightly different, but it shouldn't impact our results. At least that's the assumption. So to sum up, our best comparison will be to use how these players played against NBA talent. Let's walk through a specific example. Say we want to get information on Michael Jordan to know just how good he would have been on the Olympic team in 1992. If you look at the timeline, the 1992 Olympics fell between two NBA seasons, the 1991 to 1992 season and the 1992 to 1993 season. To get the best approximation for how a player would perform in the 1992 Summer Olympics, we need a centering or middling function. So simply, if we take the mean of the player's statistics, data, and tendencies, we expect to get a good approximation for how he was a player during the Olympics of 1992. And this process should work the same for every player on our rosters, with the exception of 3 players. First, Magic Johnson, who retired the year before due to HIV, and then took a few years of a break, finally returning for one season in 1996. For him, we can use the same method, just the 2 dates surrounding the 1992 summer are going to be further apart. Second, Larry Bird. Larry Bird retired after the 1992 season, so our best approximation of how he would have been during the summer of 1992 is just to take the data we have from his last season in the NBA. And lastly, Christian Laettner, who, yes, was definitely a part of the 1992 Dream Team. I know a lot of people like to forget that he was there, but he was there and is very much a part of this team, and it is not fair to just exclude him as if he wasn't on the team, because he was. So as you might know, Christian Laettner wasn't even an NBA player during 1992 Summer Olympics. He didn't start his NBA career until the following season. So similar to Larry Bird, our best approximation to how good Christian Laettner was at this time is how he did in the NBA season after the Olympics. The good news is we can find all of this data from basketballreference.com. In particular, the table of per 100 possessions in the advanced statistics will be the most helpful in creating an authentic recreation of a player. Let's take a closer look. This is the data for Michael Jordan. FGA stands for field goals attempted, and FG% is of course the field goal percentage. This means for every 100 possession, Michael Jordan shot 29.8 field goals. In other words, he shoots a field goal 29.8% of the time. When he shoots, he makes it about 52% of the time.
With a computer program written in Python, we can simulate these actions. Let's look at shooting as a very basic example. The program will randomly choose one of 2 actions. 1, shoot a basket, or 2, do not shoot a basket. We will do this for Michael Jordan. So the probability that he takes a shot in 1992 is 29.8%. Another way of thinking about this is he has about 70.2% probability of not taking a shot. If a shot is taken, he will make it 52% of the time. This is a very simple example of how this simulation works to recreate a player with their data. However, as you can imagine, it gets much more complicated when considering all of the aspects of a basketball game. The more things considered, the better the computer program is at recreating Michael Jordan. So I included everything I could think of in this program. It took a lot of work. I looked at 2-point field goals, 3-point field goals, usage percentage, drawing foul frequency, offensive rebound percentage, defensive rebound percentage, assist percentage, free throw percentage, block percentage, steals, minutes played, and more. With all of these aspects considered for Michael Jordan and all of his teammates, they are ready to play in a simulated basketball game.
We can place 5 players on the court against another 5 players and simulate how they would actually play against each other. Now, defense is going to be a little bit tricky. I know we have steals, blocks, and rebound, but defense is one of those things in basketball that is actually really hard to interpret based on numbers alone. So consider that a limitation. Timing is also something that's a little tricky for this simulation as well. My solution was to simply set a given score and have the players play up to that score rather than timing the games. I chose a score of 160 because these teams are loaded, and I can easily see them being able to consistently put up 40 points in a quarter. Also, if a possession takes too long, I consider that a team turnover and chalk it up to a 24-second shot clock violation. Lastly, for minutes played, I base this off of the minutes played in the actual Olympics and not in the regular season. That way I could have a good distribution of minutes per game for each player based on their actual roster from the Olympic Games. As these players play, the cool thing is I can see at each step what basketball play is happening at any given time. And because of that, I can keep track of their statistics and numbers to see how well these two teams and individuals actually played against each other. In fact, here is what a game looks like when all the information is displayed. Pretty cool, huh? Now that all this data has been scraped and processed and our simulation machine is ready, it's time to see how these two teams stack up against each other based off of real-life tendencies and percentages. I hope you're excited because I am. Welcome to Game 1 of the Olympic NBA Informatics whatever finals. It's the USA of 1992 taking on the USA team of 2008. Starting for the Dream Team, David Robinson. Charles Barkley and Larry Bird will take the forward position, and the backcourt will include the likes of Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. Starting for the Redeem Team, Dwight Howard, LeBron James, and the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, and prime Chris Paul. So real quick about the starting lineups, I'm not actually choosing any of this stuff. That's just who I would have started if I was the coach of this game. The computer and the simulation will actually choose these things for us, based again on those minutes played from the actual Olympics during that time. So don't be surprised if the starters don't play as many minutes as some people off of the bench. It all just chooses based on those actual minutes played from the Olympics. Let's get into Game 1 and see what happens. David Robinson goes for 14 points with 7 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks in only 18 minutes played. He went 7 for 12 for 58% from inside the arc, did not take a 3, and went 0 for 1 from the free throw line. Larry Legend, 12 points, 13 boards, 5 assists, 1 block in 24 minutes played. He shot 2 for 5 from downtown, 40%. Pretty solid game from Larry Bird. Magic Johnson, 13 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists in 18 minutes played with 1 turnover. He was 3 for 6 from inside the arc and 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Charles Barkley, the round mound of rebound, got 11 boards with 9 points, 2 assists in only 18 minutes played. 3 for 3 from the free throw line. Michael the GOAT Jordan, in my opinion. 12 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, 4 steals, 1 block, 1 turnover, 6 for 13 from inside the arc in only 18 minutes played. That's a pretty solid effort from Michael Jordan in only 18 minutes. So hopefully they play him more minutes in the next game. I want to see what he can do. Okay, for the Redeem Team, we have Dwight Howard, 7 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist on 18 minutes played, 60% from 2, 1 for 3 from the free throw line. Kobe Bryant, flirting with a triple-double, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal. Not a lot of points for Mr. Kobe Bryant. I'm a little surprised. He shot only 1 for 11 from 2-point land. That's less than 10%. Yikes. 0 for 1 from 3, 6 for 7 from the free throw line. Don't worry, Kobe fans. There's no way he's going to continue to shoot this poorly from inside the arc. He's going to shoot better. Oh, and you know what? He fouled out. 6 fouls. 6 personal fouls in 30 minutes. So sometimes you just have a bad game. But even a bad game for Kobe Bryant's not that bad because he nearly got a triple-double. Chris Paul, 5 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. 0 for 7 from inside the arc. LeBron James, holy mackerel. 53 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover, 17 for 33 from the field, 42 minutes played, a game high, 2 for 5 from the 3-point land, 13 from 15 from the free throw line. He was nearly in the 40, 50, 90 club. Holy cow. Look, I think that Michael Jordan's the GOAT, but maybe LeBron might just change my mind here because that is ridiculous. Holy cow. I'm speechless. Dwayne Wade, 50 15 rebounds, 25 points, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block with 3 turnovers. Shot 61% from inside the arc, 0 for 2 from 3, 75% from the charity stripe in 36 minutes. That is an incredible game. Man, I'm really kind of forgetting how good Dwayne Wade and LeBron James were during this time. Definitely the big three from the Redeem team are Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. Incredible players. Will it be enough to take home a Game 1 victory? First player off the bench for the Dream Team, Patrick Ewing, with a great game. 21 points, 9 boards, 8 for 14 at 57% in only 18 minutes played. He did foul out as well, so that could be a problem for him moving forward. Chris Bosh had a quiet game. In only 12 minutes played, he had 5 points. Scottie Pippen, also flirting with a triple-double. 12 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. I think that's a game high. And 1 steal, with 4 personal fouls and 56% from two-point land. Carmelo Anthony only played for 6 minutes, but got 7 points. Not so bad. That'd be like 42 points per 36 minutes, around there. Clyde Drexler is a scoring machine, and in this game, he had 15 points in 18 minutes, so good job. Jason Kidd with 9 points and 7 boards and 0 assists in 12 minutes. That's a lot of numbers for 12 minutes. The mailman, Karl Malone, 20 points, 13 boards, 5 assists, and 2 blocks with 1 turnover off the bench. He did only shoot 7 for 20 at 35%, but he hit some good free throws and grabbed a lot of boards in 30 minutes played. Darren Williams, 6 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 1 steal in 24 minutes. Another player on the Redeem team that had a bad shooting night, 1 for 6. Chris Mullin, 1 for 1 from downtown to go with 7 points, 3 boards, 3 assists in 12 minutes played. Tayshaun Prince, 8 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists in 24 minutes played. You know, that's a decent effort off of the bench. John Stockton, 7 points, 3 assists in 12 minutes. That's kind of what you would expect from him in 12 minutes play. Michael Redd, another player that got only 12 minutes, 9 points, 3 boards, 1 assist. And Christian Laettner, 18 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and 1 turnover. What a game by Christian Laettner. For all you haters out there, maybe he's putting you to rest. He played great in 30 minutes played. Now, we'll see if he can keep this up, but definitely a breakout game from the youngest player on either roster. Charles Boozer was a DNP coach's decision. Let's look at the team stats to see how these teams stacked up against each other. The Dream Team came out on top, getting to 160 points quicker. They beat the Redeem Team by 18 points. They were also able to out-rebound, out-assist. Both teams were equal in steals, and the Dream Team was able to get 8 blocks versus the Redeem Team's 1. The Dream Team also had fewer turnovers, shot better percentage from inside the arc. Both teams didn't take many threes, but basically shot a close percentage. The Dream Team and Redeem Team shot about the same percentage at 79 and 80% from the free throw line, though the Redeem Team took many more free throws, but really it came down to rebounding. The Dream Team had a lot more rebound, even though they committed more personal fouls. Now let's get into our NBA Informatics player of the game.
He's on fire! He's on fire!
And you should already know who this is, because I'm not going to be biased towards which team won.
LeBron James.
Let's just soak in and appreciate this stat line one more time. 53 points, 16 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, only 1 turnover, 17 for 33 from inside the arc, 2 for 5 from outside the 3-point line, 87% from the free throw line, 1 offensive rebound, 15 defensive rebounds, 4 personal fouls committed, and 42 minutes played. So the Dream Team takes Game 1 with a historic performance across the board to outlive the heroic efforts of LeBron James and his 53 points and Dwayne Wade. Tune in shortly for Game 2. Let's get into Game 2 right now. After a historic performance by LeBron James, the Redeem Team still fell short. This time, LeBron James and the Redeem Team seek revenge in Game 2 as Michael Jordan and the Dream Team hope to keep their series lead alive. It is Game 2 of the NBA USA Olympic Team Playoff Series. This is the Dream Team versus the Redeem Team. Starting lineups are brought to you by McDonald's. No, I'm just kidding, I'm not going to do a sponsor, but you know how it is. The starting lineups are going to be the same because it's just for fun. This is definitely who I would start. Let's see what happened in game 2. David Robinson, the Admiral, came in with a monster game. Starting at center, he had 22 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, 1 turnover. He is one of the only NBA players to get a quadruple double. 14 at 43% field goal. He had 4 fouls and he only played 18 minutes. So, you know what? Great game for David Robinson. Larry Legend in 36 minutes. Maybe his back was hurting in this game. Who knows? But he had 11 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 1 turnover. That's not a bad game at all from Larry Bird, though he did play 36 minutes. Magic Johnson had a quiet game with only 12 minutes played. He had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 0 assists, 1 steal, 0 blocks, and 1 turnover. Charles Barkley, again, not a huge game from Sir Charles. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and that's pretty much it for Mr. Charles. Michael Jordan, again with a surprisingly quiet game. I'm hoping, I am, that Michael Jordan pulls out a few bigger games here, especially since LeBron James was putting up 50. But he played 18 minutes. He had 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He went 3 for 7 from inside the arc at 43%. We'll see how he does in the future, but again, relatively quiet game for his heirs. Okay, for the Redeem team, we have Dwight Howard with 5 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, in only 18 minutes played. Wow, it's actually a pretty good game. Lots of rebounding. He needs to do that if they want to win. Kobe Bryant with a great game for the Redeem team, a revenge game. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. What did I tell you? He's not going to shoot like that forever. Actually, I kind of take it back because he did only shoot 4 for 14 from inside the arc at 29%. But he was 3 for 5 from downtown and shot really good from the free throw line. So I guess it kind of balances out. But 28 points, 6 boards, 7 assists, 3 steals. Can't really ask for better. That's a really good game from the Black Mamba. Chris Paul had a decent game. 10 points, 1 rebound, 4 assists, and 3 steals from Chris Paul. Oh my, okay. LeBron James, 57, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, in only 36 minutes played this game. 62% from inside the 3-point line. Incredible. 2 for 8 from outside, so he only shot 25% from outside of the arc. But again, another good free throw shooting night for LeBron James. I swear I did not plan for this. This is crazy. Hopefully it's enough to actually win the game this time. Dwayne Wade, this time a little quieter of a game. 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 2 turnovers in only 18 minutes played. So decent game from Dwayne Wade. Patrick Ewing off of the bench for the Dream Team, carrying the load that the starters gave. 27 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, 1 turnover. In 24 minutes played, 83% from inside the arc. He actually took 1 3 and he missed it. But he was 7 for 7 from the free throw line. Just an incredible game from the big fella. Chris Bosh with a redeeming game. 15 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block in 36 minutes played. Good shooting from Chris Bosh. Scottie Pippen had a quiet night. 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. I mean, not that quiet of a night. He played for 18 minutes. Carmelo Anthony, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 steals. That's a solid game from Carmelo Anthony with 6 personal fouls committed. So he actually fouled out, but played for 30 minutes. Clyde Drexler, still waiting on him to have a big game. 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal in only 12 minutes. Jason Kidd, 6 minutes played, but 8 points. Okay, he didn't miss a shot. 2 for 2 from 2, 1 for 1 from 3, 1 for 1 from the free throw line. Okay. The mailman, Carmelo, putting up 23 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 block in 24 minutes. He went 10 for 19 at 53% for field goals, and 3 for 3 from the charity stripe. Darren Williams, 12 minutes played, 7 points, 2 rebounds, and a turnover. Chris Mullin, 18 minutes played, 12 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. He went 0 for 2 from 3-point land, but he was 100% from the free throw line. Tayshaun Prince, 24 minutes and only 2 points. But I guess if LeBron James is scoring all the points, you really don't need to. So not a bad game, I suppose. 6 rebounds, that's meaningful. 3 assists. 2 of those rebounds were offensive, keeping possessions alive. John Stockton, 24 minutes played, 5 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Pretty good game. He missed every single 2-point shot that he took, but was 1 for 1 from 3 and 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and he committed 5 fouls. He's a scrappy player, not surprising. Michael Redd, only 6 minutes played, but he had a 3-pointer. That's nice. He did have a turnover. Christian Laettner with a much quieter game in game 2. 6 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 turnover, 12 minutes played. Alright, and Carlos Boozer actually got in the game this time. Good for you, Boozer. He had 6 minutes played and 2 points. Let's get into the team stats for game 2. This time, the Redeem team absolutely demolished the Dream team by a margin of 28 points, if I'm doing my math correctly. That is crazy. The Dream team was still able to out-rebound rebound, but not by nearly as much as they did last time. The Redeem team had 34 assists compared to the Dream team's 28. They had more steals, not as many blocks, but okay. This time the Redeem team had less turnovers than the Dream team, something that changed from game 1. The Redeem team had a much better shooting night at 50% and 47% from three-point land. That's great. They should have shot more, really. 9 of 19. In free throws, the Dream team actually shot a crazy good percentage, but the Redeem team made more and took more at 80%. You can see the breakdown of the offensive versus defensive rebounds. A lot of personal fouls committed by both teams. And of course, no question about it, the player of the game is LeBron James.
He's on fire. He's on fire.
Just admire this stat line one more time. 57 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 0 turnovers. He shot 18 for 29 at 62% for 2-pointers. He went 2 for 8 at 25% from 3-pointers. He shot 15 for 18 at the free throw line at 83%. He had 1 offensive rebound, 10 defensive rebounds, 3 personal fouls, and played for 36 minutes. In game 2, the Dream team scored 133 and the Redeem team 161. To tie the series, the Redeem team had a historic and MVP effort from the one and only LeBron the King James. Tune in right now for game 3 of this epic series. Game 3 of the NBA, Olympic, whatever you want to call it, playoff type series between the 1992 Dream Team and the 2008 Redeem Team. Starting lineups: David Robinson, Charles Barkley, Larry Bird, Michael Jordan, and Magic Johnson for the Dream Team. For the Redeem team, at center, we have Dwight in his prime, Howard, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Paul running the point. Let's see who won this game. Both teams are looking to take an advantage in the series in this game, so let's find out who won. David Robinson in 24 minutes played had 11 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 2 turnovers. Solid game from the Admiral. Larry Bird in 24 minutes only had 12 points and 6 rebounds, 1 assist and 1 steal, and 1 block. He was only 1 for 7 from inside the arc, but he shot 50% from 3 and 100% from the free throw line. Magic Johnson, another quiet game from Magic. 3 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks in 12 minutes. Considering he only played 12 minutes, that's actually not a bad game, but hopefully he plays a little bit more. I don't know what the coach is thinking. Chuck Daly. Charles Barkley, 6 minutes played. What? He had only 3 points, and that was it. And it was a 3-pointer. Wow, okay. Michael Jordan. This is more of a game of what I'm talking about. Michael Jordan. Wow. 36 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and 1 turnover. Great game from Michael. 13 for 27 from inside the arc at 48%, 0 for 1 from 3, 10 for 11 from the free throw line at 91%, 2 offensive boards in only 30 minutes played. What a game. That's more of what I expect from Michael Jordan. Hopefully he does this more on the regular. Okay, for the Redeem team, we had Dwight Howard, 16 points, 7 rebounds, 0 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. He did not miss a shot, so that's good. Kobe Bryant, 17 points, 5 boards, 9 assists, 1 steal in 24 minutes played. You know what? Not a bad game from Kobe. He did have 1 turnover. That's a pretty good game. Chris Paul, scoring a lot in 18 minutes with 21 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover. Great game from Chris Paul. He went 2 for 2 from 3. LeBron James, coming back down to earth, if that's even possible, still had a great game. 30 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals. Okay, King James, 6 for 18, 4 of 8 from 3. He did not miss a free throw. Great game from LeBron James. Dwayne Wade, another great performance. 19 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 30 minutes played. He also had a block and 2 turnovers. He also did not miss a shot from the free throw line. Wow. And off the bench for the Dream Team, Patrick Ewing, another massive performance. 22 points, 15 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. He did foul out in 30 minutes played. He shot 50%. Chris Bosh putting in some work. He also fouled out. They must have been battling him and Patrick Ewing. 15 points, 12 boards, 2 assists, 1 turnover. 30 minutes played. He shot 50% and was 100% from the free throw line. Great game from Chris Bosh. Bosh. Scottie Pippen, 12 minutes played, 6 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 block. Great game. Carmelo Anthony, 24 minutes played, 13 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks. This is what I'm talking about from Clyde Drexler. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He's a good scorer for sure. 77% from inside the arc, 50% from outside the arc, 5 for 5 from free throw land at 100%. Just a great game from Clyde Drexler. Jason Kidd, 3 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist in 12 minutes played. The mailman, Karl Malone, flirting with a triple-double, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals in 24 minutes played. Not the best shooting percentage, but he got it done from the free throw line and had good numbers besides shooting. Darren Williams, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal in 36 minutes. Chris Mullin, 11 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 3 steals, and 1 block with 2 turnovers. Okay, Chris Mullin. Tayshaun Prince, in 6 minutes played, had 4 rebounds and 1 block. Not bad. John Stockton was a DNP. We'll assume that's coach's decision. Mr. Chuck Daly. Michael Redd, 12 minutes, 6 points, 1 rebound. Christian Laettner, 15 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers in 30 minutes played. It's an okay game. He did play a lot of minutes, but maybe it was garbage minutes. We'll find out. Carlos Boozer, again, was a DNP. We'll call it coach's decision. So let's see the team stats for this game. The Dream Team snuck out a Game 3 victory, 161 to 155. They were out-rebounded this time by the Redeem Team, though they had more assists and more steals and more blocks, and unfortunately, more turnovers. And it really came down to shooting. The Dream Team shot 50% from inside the arc, while the Redeem Team shot 41%. The Dream Team hit 50% from three-point land, and the Redeem Team hit 11 of 21 at 52%. Holy cow, that's some good shooting. The Redeem Team also hit 91% of their free throws, while the Dream Team only hit 84%. The Redeem Team had 7 more offensive boards in this game, despite being out-rebounded on the defensive end. And the player of this Game 3 is Michael Jordan.
He's on fire! He's on fire!
You already know, he had his best game by far since we started this series. With 36 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and a turnover. 13 for 27 at 48%, 0 for 1 from downtown, 10 for 11 from the free throw line at 91%, 2 offensive boards, 11 defensive rebounds, 3 personal fouls, and 30 minutes played. So in Game 3, the Dream Team is able to sneak away a victory, 161 to 155, thanks to the heroic efforts of one Michael Jordan with 36 points. It's Game 4 of the NBA USA Olympic whatever you want to call it game playoff series. In today's game, Michael Jordan and the Dream Team hope to put a clamp onto their lead by going up 3-1. But that's not anything that LeBron James hasn't seen, though not in his career up to this point, as LeBron James and the Redeem Team hope to tie the series at 2 games apiece. This is NBA USA Olympic basketball. Let's see how this game turned out. David Robinson, a double-double, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 4 blocks. I think that's a series high. 4 blocks? Incredible. Larry Bird, maybe he's facing some back issues. Only played 18 minutes in this game with 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 turnovers, though he did have a block. Magic Johnson, only 12 minutes played. What? 0 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Okay, Magic. Did not take a single shot. Sir Charles, the round mound of rebound. Really great game this time around. 16 points, 11 boards, 8 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 0 turnovers. That has got to be the best game by far that we've seen from Charles Barkley. 7 for 9 from 2, 0 for 1 from 3. Just a great game. 30 minutes played. Okay, I see you, Charles Barkley. Michael Jordan, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal in 18 minutes played. You know, for 18 minutes, not bad, but he did only shoot 22% from 2, and he did hit a 3-pointer, so that's good, but really hoping he steps it up a little bit, though I have no control over this. Dwight Howard, DNP, coach's decision? The Dream Team must be going with a different strategy this time. Strange. Kobe Bryant, there's a game. 30 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, 8 for 15 at 53% from 2, 2 for 4 at 50% from 3, 8 for 9 from the free throw line at 89%, 4 offensive, rebound, 2 defensive, 1 personal foul in 36 minutes played. That's a great game from Kobe. No complaints there. Chris Paul, 27 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Dang, good job, Chris Paul. LeBron James, 40 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 block. He did play all 48 minutes. Holy cow, 12 for 19 from 2. Great game. I can't believe he played all 48 minutes. That's definitely a series high. 40 points though. I would have played him all 48 too probably. Dwayne Wade, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. He didn't shoot very well, but 12 minutes. Pretty good numbers for 12 minutes. Patrick Ewing put in 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. Not his best game, but he's definitely putting in the work coming off the bench for the Dream Team. That is a massive player to have off of the bench. Maybe this is why Dwight Howard didn't play very much, because Chris Bosh was a monster with an awesome game. 26 points, 9 rebounds, 12 assists, 3 blocks, and 1 turnover. He was 1 rebound away from a triple-double. I am waiting for one of these players to get one of those. We should have put Russell Westbrook in the game. Just kidding. 60% from the field. Very efficient. Scottie Pippen, great game. 17 points, 9 boards, 5 assists, 24 minutes played. Okay, Scottie, you outscored Michael, so good job. Carmelo Anthony, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal in 24 minutes. Clyde Drexler, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 turnovers in 36 minutes. That's a game from Clyde Drexler. Way to go, Clyde Drexler. Jason Kidd did not play in this game. He was a DNP. The mailman, Carmelo, played 12 minutes and had 13 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Darren Williams, in 12 minutes played, had 4 points, and that's pretty much it. 2 for 2 from 2. Chris Mullin, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists in 18 minutes played. Tayshaun Prince had 12 rebounds. 12 rebounds. He's been a really good rebounder for this team. 8 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. John Stockton got 18 minutes this game with 13 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 1 turnover. 1 for 1 from 3-point land. Michael Redd in 12 minutes had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal. Christian Laettner only played 6 minutes, had 4 points, 1 rebound, and 1 turnover. And Carlos Boozer again was a DNP because he didn't play very much in the 2008 Olympics. Okay, let's see how the numbers compare for the teams in this game. The Redeem Team absolutely demolished the Dream Team in this game by 32 points. Wow. The Redeem Team had a few more assists, a few more steals. The Dream Team had 8 turnovers. Both shot pretty good from 2-point land. 53% for the Redeem Team and 55% for the Dream Team. The Dream Team did not shoot very many 3-pointers and did not make very many either, 2 for 9. But the Redeem Team was 5 for 12 at 42%. Oh, the Dream Team shot terribly from the free throw line at 20 of 32 for 63%. Yikes. Meanwhile, the Redeem Team went 41 for 52 at 79%. The Dream Team just fouls like crazy. They play rough in those 90 teams. And the Redeem Team had only 19 fouls. I think that was a major difference in this game. With such domination over the Dream Team, our player of the game, of course, has to be LeBron James.
He's on fire! He's on fire!
I'm kind of getting tired of this. I'm really hoping Michael Jordan steps it up or someone else because LeBron James has been player of the game 3 out of the 4 games. I can't help it. I have to give it to him. 40 points, 14 boards, and 7 assists, and 1 block. Even though he played 48 minutes, I think he played 48 minutes for a reason.
The under a double-digit deficit at halftime. Excellent defense. James comes up with a steal. Ball back to James. Oh, beautiful play. LeBron. Start. Prince. Alley-oop to James.
So with just another butt whooping, the Redeem Team destroys the Dream Team in this game by a huge margin thanks to the efforts of one LeBron James and Kobe Bryant among others. Let's get going with Game 5. Game 5 of the Olympic NBA Informatics USA, whatever you want to call it. The series is tied 2-2 with Michael Jordan's team and LeBron James and his Redeem Team at 2 games apiece. This is an epic showdown. Both teams are looking to get a lead in this series and not drag it out too long. This is going to be an important game. If you're like me, I'm a little bit surprised that we're at 2 games apiece here. I think I have the Redeem Team a little bit underrated, but the series isn't over. It can definitely end. In fact, I think it's going to end in 6 games. We'll see. Though I am a little bit concerned because when the Dream Team wins, they're barely winning. And when the Redeem Team wins, it seems like it's a major blowout every time. Maybe that's not something to be concerned about, but we'll see what happens. David Robinson, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, and 2 turnovers in 30 minutes played with 5 for 7 from the field at 71%. You can't ask for more than that. He did foul out, but flirted with a triple-double. Larry Bird, kind of in a redeeming game for himself, had 19.7 rebounds, 5 assists. You can't really expect better than that from an older, nearly retired Larry Bird. Magic Johnson, another quiet game from Magic. 18 minutes, but he only had 3 rebounds and 1 steal. Yeah. Charles Barkley had another good game, at least points-wise. He had 24 of those, 2 rebounds. Okay, maybe his height got to him on the rebounds this time, a little surprising. 1 assist, 1 turnover. He did shoot 62% and was 100% from the 3 and 100% from the charity stripe. Michael Jordan, thank you. 33 points, 1 rebound, 12 assists, 1 steal, and 2 turnovers. 76% from 2, 33% from 3, only 50% from the free throw. And he had 5 fouls, but you know what? 33 points, that's more of the number I want to see from Michael Jordan. Now for the Redeem Team. Dwight Howard with his best game by far, proving that the coach should not have sat him last game. He had 27 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 turnovers. He shot 17 free throws, but only made 65%. Kobe Bryant, another good game from the Black Mamba. 28 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 turnovers. He went 9 for 17 at 53%. He did foul out, unfortunately. A lot of fouls when you're playing to 160 points. Chris Paul, 8 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. LeBron James, another good game, back to earth, but another great game from LeBron James. 32 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, 0 blocks, and 0 turnovers. He had 81% of his 2-pointers. Nice! He only had 1 foul committed. Dwayne Wade, 25 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 0 turnovers. That is a great game. 0 turnover, 58% from 2. He was very efficient. He only played 30 minutes and he put up some numbers. Great game from Dwayne Wade, now partial owner of the Utah Jazz. Patrick Ewing off the bench played 30 minutes. He had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal. He fouled out though, trying to go against Dwight Howard. Chris Bosh had 16 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1 steal and 1 turnover. Pretty solid game from Chris Bosh, the Raptor. 7 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists for Scottie Pippen, and 4 steals in 24 minutes played. Carmelo Anthony had 8 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. Clyde Drexler disappeared, unfortunately. He played 12 minutes, had 3 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block. Jason Kidd had 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. Pretty good game in only 12 minutes, not gonna lie. The Mailman, I think with a series high for himself at least. 30 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers. He did also foul out. Dream Team is committing a lot of fouls, but he shot 80% field goals. Darren Williams, another player who fouled out surprisingly. 14 points, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover in 30 minutes played. 6 minutes is all Chris Mullin got. He had 5 points, 4 assists. Tayshaun Prince was a DNP this time around. John Stockton did play for 12 minutes. He had 1 rebound. That's pretty much it. Michael Redd, 6 minutes played, had 2 points, 1 rebound. Christian Laettner, DNP coach's decision, must not have played well in practice that week. And Carlos Boozer was a DNP, interestingly enough.
So the final score in Game 5 is the Dream Team 143 to the Redeem Team 162. And our NBA Informatics Player of the Game belongs to Dwayne Wade.
He's on fire. He's on fire.
He had 25 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks with 0 turnovers. He was incredible in this game and gave the Redeem Team the series lead going into Game 6. Just like that, the Redeem Team has taken the lead in the series with a dominating performance by 19 points. The Redeem Team beats the Dream Team with a score of 143 to 162. Tune in right now because it's time for Game 6. I know this video is getting pretty long, and by the end of it, you may actually have some facial hair or a beard of some sort. But we're almost done. Let's see if the Redeem Team can win the series and put the Dream Team away in Game 6. It's time for Game 6 right now. Game 6 of the Olympic NBA Informatics Finals. Right now, the Redeem Team has a lead, 3 games to 2. It's the USA Basketball team from 1992 versus the USA Basketball team of 2008. Our starting lineups are the same as they've been this entire time. My choice. Let's get into the game. David Robinson had an incredible game for game 6, 21 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. He gets the Dream Team off to an excellent start if they want to tie the series and force a game 7. Larry Bird, a good game from Larry Legend. In 24 minutes played, he had 17 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block. Not to mention he was 2 for 2 from 3. Magic Johnson. This does not bode well for the Dream Team. He did not play. 0 minutes played. But Charles Barkley might have made up for that with an excellent game from Sir Charles. 28 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He did foul out with 6 personal fouls, but he was excellent from the floor during his time in the game. 10 for 13 from inside the arc at 77%. Michael Jordan with an excellent game, coming up clutch for a potential closeout game. He had 33 points, 2 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals. He went 12 for 22 from 2, and he shot 90% from the free throw line. So that was a pretty good start from the Dream Team. Let's see how the Redeem Team responds in this game 6. Will they be able to put them away? Dwight Howard, first for the Redeem Team, had 8 points and 6 rebounds in 6 minutes played. Kobe Bryant with a good game, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 turnover. He shot 7 for 11 from inside the arc, but outside of the arc, he was 0 for 8. Chris Paul for the Redeem Team had 9 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 4 turnovers. But he was 1 for 1 from 3. Guess that's a bright spot. LeBron James coming in big for the Redeem Team with 28 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 turnovers. He was only 1 for 5 from 3, but he hit all of his free throws. Dwayne Wade, our player of the game in game 5, had 24 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 2 blocks, and a turnover. Doing great. He was 10 for 13 from inside the arc, 0 for 1 from downtown, but he hit all of his free throws. Now for the bench units in both the Dream Team and the Redeem Team. First, we have Patrick Ewing, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 turnover in only 12 minutes played. Chris Bosh for the Redeem Team, 11 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists in 18 minutes played. Scottie Pippen for the Dream Team, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 turnover. He played 30 minutes. He hit 50% from 3, though he only took 2, and he committed 4 personal fouls. Carmelo Anthony, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. That's pretty much it, though he only played for 6 minutes, so that's some good minutes from Carmelo Anthony off of the bench. Clyde Drexler, in 18 minutes played, had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, and 2 turnovers. Jason Kidd, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He did not miss a single shot, and he played for 18 minutes. Karl Malone only played for 6 minutes in this game. He had 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. The mailman did not deliver in this game. Darren Williams had an interesting stat line for the Redeem Team. 18 points, 0 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 2 turnovers. He played for 30 minutes, and he had a good shooting night as well, shooting 60% from inside the arc, 60% from downtown, and 100% from the free throw line. Chris Mullin, in 30 minutes played, had 5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 turnover. Tayshaun Prince, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal in 24 minutes played. John Stockton put in 6 minutes for the Dream Team with 2 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and that's pretty much it. Michael Redd did not play in this game. With 0 minutes played, he had 0 in all of his stats. Christian Laettner scored 7 points, had 7 assists, 1 rebound, 1 steal, and 1 turnover in 24 minutes played. He did not make a single field goal. All of his points came from the free throw line. And last, Carlos Boozer for the Redeem Team. 13 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal in 24 minutes played. I think that's the most minutes that Carlos Boozer has played in a game. Perhaps the Redeem Team is going with a different strategy here, and he played okay. So was this enough for the Dream Team to force a game 7, or does the Redeem Team get to take home the championship? Let's look at the stats for the team. The Dream Team takes this one home by a 7-point victory, 160 to 153. Both teams were virtually equal in rebounds and very close in assists, as the Dream Team had 46 assists, the Redeem Team had 42. Both teams had 8 steals. Both teams were close with blocks, neither had very many. The Dream Team was able to commit fewer turnovers. Both teams shot pretty well, though, you'll notice the Redeem Team only shot 6 for 22 at 27% from beyond the arc. Even though they shot 61% from 2, it wasn't enough to give them the victory in this game. Both teams were pretty evenly matched when it came to rebounds as well, and both teams had the exact same same amount of personal fouls at 24 apiece. That was a very close game. It's time for our NBA Informatics Player of the Game, Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan kept the Dream Team's hopes for a series win alive with 33 points, 2 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals. He came up clutch in this potential elimination game and gave the Dream Team life to live and forced a Game 7. We're going to Game 7. The Dream Team outlasts the Redeem Team by a score of 160 to 153. Tune in shortly for Game 7 coming up next in just a few seconds. It's time for Game 7, the single game that will decide who is the series winner between the Dream Team and the Redeem Team. Both teams have won 3 games apiece now, so all the marbles lie in this Game 7. Can Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, David Robinson, and the rest beat the likes of LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, and Dwayne Wade and their team? Let's find out. Starting off with the Dream Team, David Robinson put in 9 points. He had 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, and 1 turnover in 18 minutes played. Getting the Dream Team started off on the right foot, he had a pretty decent game. Oh, except now Larry Bird played in 6 minutes and had absolutely nothing during that time. 0 points, 0 everything. That does not bode well for the Dream Team in this Game 7. However, Magic Johnson put in 22 points, had 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block in 30 minutes played. He had a decent shooting night. He shot 40% from inside the arc and 88% from the free throw line. Charles Barkley putting some work in, had 17 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. He played in 18 minutes and was 70% from inside the arc and even made a 3-pointer. Michael Jordan in Game 7. First time he's had a Game 7 in the finals. Only scored 15 points, had 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. He had a pretty quiet night in 24 minutes played. Hopefully that's enough to give his team a chance at victory. Over to the Redeem Team to see how well they played in this Game 7. First, for the starting lineup, we have Dwight Howard, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 1 block, and 1 turnover. He did only play for 12 minutes. Kobe Bryant had 17 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, almost a triple-double for Kobe Bryant, the Black Mamba. 0 steals, 0 blocks, 0 turnovers. He did foul out in this game, so he must have put forth a giant effort to try and win. We'll see if it worked out for him. Chris Paul had 20 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals. Lots of steals for Chris Paul in this game. He played for 24 minutes. LeBron James with his most quiet game of the entire series. He only had 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 1 turnover. But he only played for 12 minutes, so when you consider the amount of time he played, who knows why he only played that long. It wasn't a bad game at all, though was it enough to give them the victory over the Dream Team. Dwayne Wade had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, and 2 turnovers. Patrick Ewing, off the bench for the Dream Team, had a monstrous game. 23 points, 16 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal in 30 minutes played. He shot 69% from inside the arc. Really, he shot 69% total because he did not take a 3, and he was 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Wow, that is an excellent Game 7 effort from Patrick Ewing. Chris Bosh, first man off the bench for the Redeem Team, had 19 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, and 1 block in only 12 minutes played. That's a solid game for Chris Bosh. Scottie Pippen had a triple-double. 14 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists, 2 blocks, and a turnover. You can't ask for better than that from Scottie Pippen. What a game, and it's great to see a triple-double from a player. Carmelo Anthony off the bench for the Redeem Team had 12 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 block, and 1 turnover in 24 minutes played. Clyde Drexler scored quite a bit of points for the Dream Team. He had 24 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. He played for 30 minutes, and he also fouled out, so maybe him and Kobe Bryant were going at it this game and made each other foul out. Jason Kidd in 36 minutes for the Redeem Team off the bench had 15 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Wow, pretty good game, though he missed every single 2-point field goal that he took. He was 36% from beyond the arc. The mailman, Carmelo, had 14 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 2 blocks with 3 turnovers. Darren Williams played all 48 minutes. Strange. He had 23 points, 2 rebounds, 9 assists, 2 steals, and 2 personal fouls. He had a decent game, but he did play for the entire game. Interesting decision. 48-minute play. Wow. Chris Mullin had 14 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 turnover to go with his 2 fouls in 18-minute play. Tayshaun Prince played for 24 minutes for the Redeem team. He had 5 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. He did not make a single shot. His only points, oh no, he made 1 3-pointer. John Stockton had 8 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 1 turnover in 18 minutes play. Michael Redd did not play a single minute in this Game 7, and the same goes for Christian Laettner of the Dream Team. Carlos Boozer also did not have any minutes in Game 7. Now it's time to look at the final score to find out who won this best of 7 series. And it's the Dream Team, beating out the Redeem Team with a score of 160 to 140. The Dream Team out-rebounded the Redeem Team with 70 rebounds compared to 51. They also had more assists, a few less steals, 1 less block, and 2 more turnovers. Let's look at the shooting. The Dream Team shot 58% from inside the 3-point line, and the Redeem Team took a lot of 3-pointers this game. They went 10 for 33 at about 30%, while the Dream Team only took 9 3-pointers and hit 2 of them. The Dream Team also shot a better free throw percentage, had more offensive rebounds, and had a lot more defensive rebounds, which really was the story of this game, thanks to the likes of Patrick Ewing, who had 16 rebounds all by himself. And the Dream Team kept their fouls down in this game, just committing 1 more foul than the Redeem Team at 25 versus their 24. It's time for the NBA Informatics Player of the Game, and this Player of the Game goes to the big man from New York, Patrick Ewing.
He's on fire.
He had a clutch Game 7 effort with 23 points and 16 rebounds to go with his 5 assists and 1 steal. What a great time to have a great game. He made 69% of his field goals. Really, the big men for the Dream Team made all the difference this game when it came to those rebounds. The Dream Team ends up taking this series with a final score of 160 to 140. Behind the heroic efforts of one Patrick Ewing, the Dream Team was able to out-rebound and ultimately put the Redeem Team away. Before we go, I want to look at the player averages for this 7-game series, and then at the end, I'm going to use their averages to give out awards for this series. The most valuable player, the best defensive player, and the best 6th man. So let's start off with the Dream Team starters. David Robinson in this series averaged 14.0 points per game, with 8.7 total rebounds, 4.1 assists, 0.7 steals, 1.6 blocks, and 1 turnover. He averaged 24 minutes per game and shot 56% from the field. Larry Bird, the guy who was about to be retired after this 1992 Summer Olympics, he averaged 10.7 points per game, 6 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 0.3 steals, 0.7 blocks, and 0.6 turnovers. He also played on average 22.3 minutes per game. Magic Johnson only averaged just under 15 minutes per game, which is quite shocking. I would have thought they played him more, but just like Larry Bird, he was nearing the end of his career. He averaged 6.1 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, 2 assists, 0.4 steals, 0.4 blocks, and 0.3 turnovers. Charles Barkley averaged 14.4 points, 6.3 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 0.6 steals, 0.3 blocks, and basically 0 turnovers. He played on average 22.3 minutes and shot 50% from beyond the arc, where he took on average about 1 3-pointer per game. Michael Jordan in this series averaged about 21 points per game, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 0.4 blocks, and 0.6 turnover. He played for about 24 minutes every game, shot an abysmal 22% from 3, where he took just over 1 3-point attempt per game, but he was pretty efficient from inside the arc at 52%. Now for the starters of the Redeem Team. Dwight Howard had 10.3 points, 6.7 rebounds, 0.9 assists, 0.1 steals, 0.3 blocks, and 0.6 0.6 turnovers. He averaged about 13.7 minutes per game and shot 59% from the field. I'm a little surprised by his low block numbers here from the 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. So in my opinion, he played a bit below his average. Kobe Bryant in this series had some great numbers. Although he was never player of the game, he played great in almost every game. He averaged more points than Michael Jordan at 21.6 points per game, with 6 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 1.3 steals, 0 blocks, 0.7 turnovers. He averaged 30 minutes per game and was all over the court, shooting both 2s and 3s, and 85% from the free throw line. So, although he didn't win any of the player of the games, Kobe Bryant was awesome throughout this 7-game series, as he was in 2008, and the leader of this redeemed team. Chris Paul averaged 14.3 points per game with 2.7 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 2.1 steals, 0.1 blocks, and 1 turnover. He averaged 24 minutes played, and frankly, I'm a little surprised by the high number of points that Chris Paul was scoring in this series. I usually don't think of Chris Paul as a scorer, and in this series he was putting up more than 14 points per game. But in 2008, he was more of a scorer than he is today, so that makes sense. LeBron James had an incredible series thanks to some amazing performances early on in the series. He averaged 35.9 points per game with 10 rebounds, which I believe is a series high, 5.7 assists, 1.4 steals, 0.4 blocks, and 1 turnover. He played 34 minutes per game and shot 59% from inside the arc, 35% from 3, and 79% from the free throw line. He is the reason that the Redeem team played so well during the 7-game series, and he deserves a lot of credit. Dwayne Wade averaged 17.4 points per game with 6.7 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 1.0 steals, 1.3 blocks, and 1.4 turnovers. I believe he's the only player that averaged more than 1 in every single one of the top 5 categories. He averaged just shy of 25 minutes per game. Patrick Ewing, the star of Game 7, averaged in this series 18.6 points per game, 8.9 rebounds, with 3.1 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 0.4 turnovers. He played for 23.1 minutes off the bench for the USA Dream Team. Chris Bosh averaged 15.3 points, 6.3 rebounds, 3.9 assists, 0.3 steals, 0.7 blocks, and 0.4 turnovers. He played about 25 minutes per game and shot 51% from the field. Scottie Pippen, the triple-double man, averaged 10.6 points, 5.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists with 1 steal, 0.6 blocks, and 0.4 turnovers. He played 23 minutes per game. Carmelo Anthony in this series averaged 9.3 points with 3.3 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 0.6 steals, 0.4 blocks, and 0.1 turnovers, basically 0 turnovers. He played about 18 minutes per game. Clyde Drexler, one of the best scorers off the bench for the Dream Team, averaged in 21.4 minutes, 15.7 points per game, 3.7 total rebounds per game, 3.4 assists, 0.4 steals, 0.1 blocks, and 0.6 turnovers. Jason Kidd, the veteran for the Redeem Team, averaged about 6 points per game, 3.6 total rebounds, 1.4 assists, 0.6 steals, 0.3 blocks, and 0 turnovers in just under 14 minutes played per game. The mailman, Carmelo, averaged 17.0 points with 6.3 rebounds, 3.3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 1 turnover. He played just shy of 20 minutes per game at 19.7 and shot 52% from the field and 88% from the free throw line. Darren Williams averaged 27.4 minutes per game. Kind of a lot for Darren Williams, I think, though he was a great player during this time. He averaged 12.4 points per game, 1.4 rebounds, 4.3 assists, 1 steal, 0 blocks, and 1 turnover. Chris Mullin in the series averaged 9.1 points, 3.4 rebounds, 3.6 assists, 1 steal, 0.3 blocks, and 1 turnover. Tayshaun Prince in this series in 18 minutes per game averaged 4.7 points with 5.6 rebounds, 2.7 assists, 0.3 steals, 0.1 blocks, and 0 turnover. John Stockton averaged 5.0 points with 1 rebound, 2.4 assists, 0.4 steals, 0 block, and 0.4 turnover. He only played in about 13 minutes per game. He shot 52% from inside the arc and a whopping 67% from 3, though he was only taking less than half a 3 per game. Michael Redd only averaged 7 minutes for the Redeem Team with 4.1 points, 1.3 total rebound, 0.3 assists, 0.1 steals, 0 blocks, and 0.3 turnovers. Christian Laettner, the college boy, averaged about 15 minutes per game with 7.1 points, 2.4 rebounds, 2.4 assists, 0.4 steals, 0.3 blocks, and 1 turnover. And last, Carlos Boozer in this series averaged 2.1 points with 1.1 rebound, 0.7 assists, 0.1 steals, 0 blocks, and 0 turnover. He only played about 4 minutes per game. Now let's look at how the team stats were over the course of the 7-game series. The Dream Team won 4 games versus the Redeem Team's 3 games. And surprisingly enough, the Redeem Team actually averaged more points per game. They averaged 4 more points per game to be precise. However, the Dream Team led in rebounds, assists, and blocks, while the Redeem Team had the edge on steals and turnovers. The Dream Team shot 53% from inside the arc, where the Redeem Team shot 49%. The Dream Team only shot on average 10 3-pointers per game and made on average 3, where the Redeem Team took almost double that, 19 per game, where on average they made 7 at 37%. Both teams shot a very similar free throw percentage, though the Redeem Team was better at getting to the line. Both teams were virtually equal in offensive rebounds, and the Dream Team had the edge on defensive rebounds. Also, the Dream Team committed nearly 6 more fouls per game than the Redeem Team. I guess those teams from the 90s were all about the physicality and committed a lot of fouls. It's time to give out the awards for this 7-game series. First, we have the most valuable player, and I give that award to LeBron James.
He's on fire. He's on fire.
And even though he wasn't on the winning team, you have to give him credit for this stat line. Let's just admire it one more time. 35.9 points per game, 10.1 rebounds, 5.7 assists, 1.4 steals per game, 0.4 blocks, and 0.7 turnovers per game. He shot great percentages and played 34.3 minutes per game. He definitely deserves this MVP. When you score 36 points per game against this type of talent, then you're doing something special. Up next, we have our Defensive Player of the Year, or the Defensive Player of the Series. And I give this award to David Robinson.
He's on fire. He's on fire.
The Admiral. He averaged 14.0 points per game with 8.7 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 1 steal, and 1.6 blocks per game, a series high. Those steals and blocks really helped the Dream Team out. Not to mention 7.4 of his rebounds per game were defensive. He was the starting center and anchor for that Dream Team defense, which helped lead them to a victory in this series. And last, it's time for our 6th Man of the Year, or 6th Man of the Series award, which I give to the star of Game 7, the man from New York, the big fella, Patrick Ewing.
He's on fire. He's on fire.
Patrick Ewing played great in this series as an awesome backup to David Robinson. He averaged 18.6 points with 8.9 rebounds, 3.1 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and 0.4 turnover. He played about 23 minutes per game and shot 59% from the field. Patrick Ewing deserves this 6th Man of the Year. This realistic statistical simulation of a 7-game series has provided us a little taste of how these teams would have performed against each other. But like any good statistician knows, in order to get a good estimate of reality, you need to have a big enough sample size, and 7 is not going to cut it. So that means if we want to know more precisely which team was actually better between the Dream Team and the Redeem Team, we're going to have to simulate more games. The good news is since this is a computer program, it only takes about 1.5 seconds for my computer to simulate a single game. For the next video, I'm not going to make these two teams play each other once, twice, or even 7 times. I'm going to make these two teams play each other 10,000 times. That's right, 10,000 times. With a number like 10,000, we'll get a much better idea about which team actually was better between the Dream Team and the Redeem Team. So tune in next time. Thanks for watching.